Hello, I'm Garbutt, head women's rowing coach here at Old Dominion. Please join me for a tour of our new rowing facility. Constructed January 2010, we're real proud of it. I hope you enjoy the tour. This is our small boat bay. These would be our Coxed Fours, which is one of the 3 events that women's rowing gets scored on here in our spring. We're very lucky to have this type of equipment. It's made by Pocock, which is America's oldest boat builder. They're sitting on racks that were custom made for the facility. Focus Racks is the name of the group that put these together. We do have salt water to consider, so every one of these racks is powder coated and has the ability to telescope here so that you're protecting the hulls of the equipment from these exposed bolts that are above and below them, so that minimal wear and tear on your equipment. If you can look under these boats, I know it's difficult to see, you'll see a drainage system. There's also one over here that you can notice underneath the singles and doubles. That's for wet drainage. Essentially, these boats can be put back with moisture on them, and the moisture will run right out of the building. The girls technically could rinse off the boats inside, but then they'd have to deal with me. To our other side of the boathouse here, we have some of our newer equipment, our small boats, which is really good for technical work when they're just trying to refine their technique a little bit. These are 2-person shells. This would be a pair. You can see there's only a pair of riggers on this boat. That means 2. And this would be considered a double, where there's actually 4 riggers. It's for 2 people. Each rower would have 2 oars in their hands. This would be for the sweeping discipline. This would be for a discipline in our sport known as sculling, where each athlete, as I said, has 2 oars. These boats up here are 1-person boats or singles. Again, this is for scullers. Again, each athlete has 2 oars. And these are some of our more technically advanced boats that we have. Very lucky to have solid equipment, left and right every way you look in here. In this boat here, this chase boat, you can see littered up here, this is a race course. On top of the challenge of coaching and driving our equipment to and from races, we also have the added challenge of knowing how to work line and set up a race course pretty much wherever we go. Pretty nice to have that advantage too. If we're ever traveling to a venue for spring break or anything like that, we have the ability to drop a race course wherever we are. The boat bays are almost 25 feet wide. 25 feet is significant. Most boat houses in America are strapped with 18 or 19 foot wide boat bays. So what this facility offers is essentially another boat base worth of space, or approximately that, between the 2, which gives us the opportunity to have boats down and do work on them and not be in the way of operation. Over on this side we have extra engines for our chase boats and for our launches, sculling oars on this side, and that actually is the spool or downline for our race course. That's Kevlar. Pretty expensive piece of equipment in its own right, but guaranteed never to rust, which is why we bought it. This is our H-bay. These are the larger boats. The United States in particular, this is an event that they really pride themselves on. This is the big boat, or the fast boat. There's 2 8s that get counted in our spring competitions, a first and a second varsity 8. This particular boat, like those white 4s you just saw, is Pocock as well, a company all the way out on the west coast. We have several Resolutes, which would be this gray boat, and these 3 black boats over here. Very expensive equipment as well, made in Rhode Island. The company that was their parent company used to make the Stars and Stripes, or America's Cup sailing boats. Right in front of you here is a fully electric water heater with an enormous capacity. Generally speaking, if you're able to run out of hot water in the shower here, you should probably get yourself out of the shower. The athletes have little cubby holes over here where they can put extra equipment, water bottles or things while they're out in the water. And to the right of that, you'll see oar storage. Each one of these oars is a little over 12 feet in length, about $300 a piece. Pretty similar to a pole vaulter's equipment. It's 100% carbon fiber in the shaft. Has the ability to flex a little bit. Braking is highly difficult, but it does happen. As you can see over there, we had an athlete who took care of breaking one of these just recently. Unlike a lot of other boathouses, on the first floor we have access to our locker room, which is pretty nice for the athletes, especially on race day. What we're standing on here is another bit of technology the school had the ability to plan for. This is an antimicrobial foam. You can actually wet mop like a hard floor. It's non-porous. And what it does is actively fight things and infections like athlete's foot, things like that. So you're not worrying about communicable diseases and whatnot when you're walking around in here. To our left and right we have staff locker rooms. This is the women's coach. We have 2, a grad assistant and our assistant. And then the other locker to the far left would be the men's coach's locker room. These are smaller versions really of what the athletes have available to them here. and their own locker room. Alright, so we're in the athletes' locker room here. You can see they have a lot of the niceties that even some professional athletes don't share. Again, the same flooring system in here that you saw just outside. If you can duck down a little bit, I'm pretty sure that's as many electrical outlets as you're legally allowed to have in one building or one room at one time. So there's no complaining about hair dryers or cell phone chargers or what have you. These locker compartments here are shared by 2 athletes. It itself is coated in an antimicrobial sealant, so you don't have to worry about anything spreading through the locker room, which is a pretty nice luxury. The athletes get their names placed on the top of the locker. The senior names will be in blue. As you walk around here, you can see some. We have towel drying racks here, so they're not all cramped up in their locker space. They have a real air control system right here, so they have their thermal control, but they also have the ability to take the moisture out of the room with this little system. Over here, this would mirror the other side of the facility. Each athlete has their own personal shower when they're in here and their own changing benches, which is pretty nice. And then more laboratory facilities over here. Some of the individuals in the shop were the original individuals who started this program with me in 08. And I don't have to see their faces to know who they are. I guess that's the way things go when you're practicing in the dark all the time. This is our fitness room. We have the ability to get 40 athletes at a clip on a rowing machine, a little more if you count some of the stationary exercise equipment you'll see around the other side. Surrounded by mirrors so the athletes get some feedback on their technique while they're working in here. And as you can hear, they have surround sound throughout and wireless everywhere, so the girls can jack their iPods in and listen to whatever music it is they're listening to, sometimes for the detriment of the team. So this is one of the newest toys that we have. This is called the Dynamic Erg, which Concept 2, the company that has created the ergometer, came out with. Basically what it does is it teaches the athlete how to transfer their momentum efficiently to their legs and their handle through their body. Basically, rowing is a sport that engages the lower body much more than you'd actually think. All of us rowers have heard the old adage, oh, you row, or you do the crewing, you must have really strong arms. It's just the opposite. We have a strong lower body. The arms just kind of hang on and look good in the picture. This is the team room that we're in now. The athletes use this room for video breakdown. They also use it as a study hall. The whole facility is wireless, so the athletes come in here with their laptops. They do schoolwork during the day. Also a pretty good place for them to catch their breath after a hard workout. The deck is just out there, they can get fresh air. Above us here, we have a 1080 full HD overhead projection unit. We have the ability to clip into the wall with our laptops or our cameras. And this credenza is wired just like all the classrooms would be over at Old Dominion. And lastly, one of the nicest features of this boathouse is after a nice hard workout, or maybe a hard tongue lashing by one of our coaches to the kids, they have this to come out and look at. It's a pretty nice area here to catch your breath.